The weekend is here, so sit back and start it with Fury Fighting Championship as we're back in San Antonio for Friday night fights as Eli Urbina takes on Keaton Pattershuk in our main event for Fury FC 110. But first, we have a stacked Ami and Pro Prelims card with the next crop of Fury champions. Live from the Boeing Center at Techport, it is time for these fighters to unleash the Fury. And welcome in, I'm Rahil Ramzanali, joined by the black belt himself, Michael Alexander, and Fury FC Hall of Famer and UFC veteran Alex Morono. And what a way to get this weekend going with a fun main broadcast coming up. But let's talk about these Amis and pros who are on our prelims broadcast. Who are you excited to watch, Michael?
Man, so excited. Austin Hines is back on the card. He was just in the cage a couple months ago. He's already back. 10th Planet Dawson has got a specimen there.
Yeah, a bunch of 17-year-olds going at it. He's taking on Edgar Vasquez. We also have Drew Lopez, who is always a blast to watch, taking on Jesus Alfaro on our prelims broadcast with the amateur sides. But we also have some pros, Alex, and Michael Capone, Americo Garcia. They're going at it. And we love Drew Lopez, who has the most exciting first 3 minutes as a pro. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and his brother Drake Lopez, both Lopez brothers on the card tonight. Drake coming off that big armbar win over a black belt in his last fight. He's always fun to watch in an awesome prelims card.
Man, this is going to be fun, so let's get it started right now before we head to UFC Fight Pass. We're going to join the fourth member of our broadcast crew, the best-dressed man in MMA, also a Fury FC Hall of Famer. Here he is, Wayne Leggett.
Hello, fight fans, and welcome to the Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio, Texas. This is Fury FC 110, Urbina versus Pattershuk. But first, please welcome to the blue corner for your opening preliminary contest, Alex Aparicio.
A couple of you guys making their way out. First person out, Alex Aparicio. And he's still in school. He's been training for 8 months, and he is ready to show out. He says he thinks he's fun to watch. We're gonna find out here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's a bold claim to make on your debut. And I mean, I'm sure it's good in training, but this will be the ultimate test for him, Alex. 8 months of training. I can relate. I did my first fight after less than 4. And so, but I was 33 years old. I can't imagine doing that at 17.
Heck yeah. So, yeah, he's super young. He's a flyweight. I'm going to go on a limb here, boys, and say it'll be fun to watch. I mean, he's going to be young, pissed off, and full of cardio. So, I mean, I'm sure these guys will throw down. He comes from next level. Those guys are known for just being gritty, mostly using their striking. Really fun. He's on this card with a few teammates. We see Gage Harper with his second fight here as a professional.
A lot of great gyms being represented here on this card. Of course, we're in San Antonio, so we're going to see a lot of the San Antonio gyms like we're used to, Alana Academy. You've got so many. I mean, we'll talk about it as we go throughout the night, but, this is going to be awesome. Southside Fight Club. And then, of course, we got Pete Spratt, Muay Thai. We're going to see Liv Yearly representing them as well. A couple of teammates. Vincent Dawson representing them as well. So this is going to be a good night. Alex is in. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome Richard Thomas to the red corner.
Richard Thomas also making that debut. Making that walk for the first time. Fighting out of Level Up MMA here in San Antonio. Shogun. Already has a nickname. I like it. Going into the debut. Richard Thomas. He says he's very excited to be here. He played football growing up, and he's a very humble fighter. A very humble person. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, 23 years old. He's the elder of the two fighters in here by 5 years at 23 years old, which is weird to even say out loud. But it's exciting to see two young guys in here, especially an 18-year-old who's got school on Monday. But, yeah, a 23-year-old got a big future ahead of him. I assume he's been training longer than 8 months, but man, we'll see what kind of training. I mean, we've seen it over and over. We've seen guys get in there really quick. We've seen it on The Ultimate Fighter, but they were training, basically all day, every day, a couple times a day, and so see what kind of training's been happening with these guys. Big debut for Richard Thomas.
Can I also give it up to Richard Thomas, 23 years old, and he still listens to Eminem. I thought Eminem kind of died out with us, but yeah, I guess Eminem is back in. I don't know. That's his walkout music.
There's an unspoken MMA curse. I'll speak not of it, though.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Richard Thomas, Shogun, it's Sho, S-H-O-W - gun. Unlike the common Japanese Shogun, which means commander-in-chief in Japanese, Shogun was a super popular fighter who has recently since retired, fought in Pride, fought in the UFC. But I think this is a cool kind of play on words on the classic name of Shogun.
It's a more Texas twist.
Heck yeah, that's right.
We love our guns here.
That's right.
Shogun.
He doesn't have any tattoos yet, but I assume when he does start getting them, there'll be a gun in there somewhere.
Maybe he gets a Kimura tattoo
yeah.
tonight. You never know.
Right.
Both fighters are inside. Let's get our introductions. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening preliminary contest brought to you by Ways to Well is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 124.2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, today he makes his amateur debut. This is Alex Aparicio. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he weighed in at 127.4 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, today he too makes his amateur debut. Here is Richard Thomas. Your referee in charge of the action, Daniel Guerrero.
All right, let's get this going. Here's the rules in effect for the next 7 fights. We have 4. 8 starts at 8 p.m. Fight pass. A lot of fights to get through.
Good step into the 1-2. Yeah, Alex Aparicio is pick up the short from southwest stance. Looks very comfortable with a really nice classic jab across both punches. The mark.
Take your time, take your time. Make sure you get the takedown. Take your time and make sure you get the takedown.
You can see the difference between a 23-year-old and
Keep your eyes on him, big shot. Use your vision, see everything coming towards you. Not back in a straight line.
Targeting
Keep your eyes in front of you. See everything coming towards you. Slow it down inside your mind. Shut up now. Good.
Up a little bit on those punches.
Set your punches up. Don't take your eyes off of it. Good, Rick. Sit down. Move your head. Move it down. Yes, good. Yes, exactly.
You gotta time them well if you're gonna throw and land.
Strike him. Strike him out. Strike him out. Get his time there.
During a shot.
Don't back up in a straight line. Don't back up in a straight line. Get down. Grab him. Get your back on the wall. No. Get your back on the wall. Turn towards that. More like that. Turn towards you. Good. Take your time. Take your time.
I mean, he's constantly busy. You can tell his cardio's really, really good. He hasn't taken hardly any damage at all. We've landed a few shots, but he just keeps moving forward and really controlling every one of these exchanges so far. Even though this high crotch has happened a couple times, he's not able to get him down.
Man, he tries to angle him to the ground towards the posting leg. Oh, he jumps the gilly.
Oh, that's
deep.
This is under the chin, closed guard. The grip is broken.
Yeah. Wonder if that slam stunned him just a little bit to let that grip go.
The great Dustin Poirier says, you miss 100% of the gillies, you don't jump.
10 seconds left. First round of the evening here.
Oh, big right hand from Alex Aparicio.
Oh, there's that jump and switch. That's a good round. It's a
Man,
fun
what a
round.
first round.
Yeah, Aparicio, he had really good straight shots. That's, in my opinion, what kind of easily won him this round was the damage he was able to do with those straight punches.
Yeah, and that big right hand helped also that almost put Thomas on the ground. But really, really close, but man, really entertaining first round. A couple, good things from both guys, and man, after only training for 8 months, I'm pretty impressed with the first round of Alex Aparicio.
Yeah, he's got a cool poise to his striking. His demeanor stays really calm. He throws some good technique.
Yeah, I'm not so sure this is his first fight ever. He may be whipping kids, and then when he was 10,
Maybe
in
his
the neighborhood.
His first sanctioned fight.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell Alex Aparicio knows how to fight. He came in with a little bit of skill and a little bit of brawn there to into that gym 8 months ago. So very impressive so far.
He's been to a family fun day or two.
Yeah.
I love how the Smokers were rebranded as Family Fun Day it was like around 2012, I want to say.
Yeah,
I want to they found out that's why, right?
I want to give 4 ounce credit for that. I'm pretty sure they're the first one.
They're the first. I think you are.
Yeah.
Like that is their thing. Family Fun Day.
Well, I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday or a Saturday than fighting with friends and family.
Those used to be the Smokers, right? That's what you call them around the game. But was it the state that got involved and they're like, hey, enough of this? Like, what
if
happened?
the Smoker fights were like too dangerous and they sold tickets and had no medical staff, then yes, they'd get involved. But now that people know the game well, it's all just glorified hard sparring.
Okay.
And it is. They don't announce winners. They have headgear.
Yeah.
It's really good practice before the fight, and no rules are broken.
It was 4 ounce who rebranded because I remember just being called Smokers. Like, hey, we're just gonna there's gonna be Smokers.
Oh, nice high kick caught into the triangle. Can he figure four his legs? He figure fours them. It's just a little shallow. He can go for the armbar here. He just didn't quite commit. He's kind of in K guard. Now he's got a classic, pretty heavy lead. I don't think he really quite knew what to do with it, considering he got mounted. But a fun scramble nonetheless.
Yeah, he's either going to give up his back or he's going to get mounted. Chose the mount wisely. Much easier to escape here.
Yeah, on those leg entanglements, you need like a hard framing leg to stop their hips from coming forward. He just didn't quite confirm the position.
That's something you probably haven't picked up 8 months in.
Nowhere.
Yeah, that's a technique.
I'd love to see another jump gilly.
Take your time. Take your time. Drop your hands together. Pressure.
Richard Thomas doing a good job of shrugging his left shoulder up. Oh, so there was no room for that arm to get the jawline and the collarbone. But you get that thumb in between that jawline and collarbone, and you can snake that under there. It's really, really tight whenever you do it that way. Fish hooking with the thumb.
Interestingly enough, another triangle. Thomas, he gets hit with the high kick, which scores him the takedown. He gets on top, he gets, caught in a triangle. He gets another takedown, gets, caught in another triangle. Despite him trying to push the action and effectively wrestling, I still think Alex is winning the fight finishing factor. And I think he's up this round. Especially if he keeps punching like that. Good fire back, Phil, from Richard.
That feels like Richard Thomas just wishes he would slow down just a little bit. Alex Urbino says not today, though. Into round 2. Closer round, but I think you're right, Alex. I think Alex Aparicio may have won that.
Yeah, he's doing more damage and he's getting closer to finishes. And no knock on Richard Thomas. He's pushing the action, looking for takedowns. Just every time he's successfully offensive, Alex is more successful with a counterattack.
Yeah, the anticipation of Alex is really, really good. And again, I'm surprised that he's only been training for 8 months because, he's got some really good fundamentals in there that, I'd like to see him work on a triangle whenever he gets back, but I'm sure we're not going to have to tell him that. He's really good at setting that up. He's really good at locking it. It's just a little bit unsure in the moment about how to get that closed, reaching up, grabbing the shin. And
in MMA fights, if you choose to apply a submission, you have to full send it or not do it at all.
yeah,
Like, you're not trying to tap them. You're trying to put them to sleep. You're not trying to arm. You're not trying to tap with an arm. You're trying to break their arm.
yeah.
The taps between like them and the ref.
All right, here we go. Final round. Good opening fight on our Prelims broadcast.
Good right hand there from Thomas. Again, Thomas in the black shorts with the red gloves. Aparicio, blue gloves, purple shorts.
And Aparicio is just popping him every time he throws. You can see Thomas is kind of just throwing out there. He doesn't look like he has a target with his punches. He's kind of throwing them out there to occupy Alex, and Alex is throwing some authority and trying to do damage with those punches.
If you guys just saw, Richard Thomas ran forward with like 4 punches. If he intercepts a strike during that forward momentum, that's how guys get like KO'd to sleep. Best example, Stipe Miocic versus Fabricio Verdum. Verdum defending the belt actually, and ran forward to the combo, and Stipe backstepped with a nice little counter hook and put him out. You can't run forward while you're punching. Away. Nice setup on the high kick. A little too far away though. There's Aparicio.
Look how active this young man is.
Oh,
Yeah, Aparicio's definitely got the right idea about activity and effective striking. He's definitely got the idea. His takedown fence has been really good. He has been taken down a couple times, but he's almost gotten right back up with no damage being done.
or threatened triangles.
Yeah.
And then got up.
Yeah.
Again, every round has been taken down, as you mentioned, Michael. It has worked his way back up.
Yeah.
It's been okay.
It's the first time he's got a leg trapped and kind of up against the cage. So his coaches will instruct him about how to get out of this, where to, put his feet, put his hips. It's a matter of, does he want to stay down here and try to endure this for a minute? Because I think he's got the first 2 rounds. And maybe up until this takedown, he's been winning this third round also.
Yeah, the metric of judging has changed quite a bit. Towards like sometimes there's that triangle again. A takedown and some ground control is not more valuable than one clean punch. They used to value the takedowns and the control time a lot, but now it's more about damage. Nice grand roll there. That was more like a front foot. There was no angle there on the throw. That was awesome. He was just trying to cause chaos.
Yeah, he's trying to peel him off with the cage floor. And what a debut for both of these guys to go. It looks like they're going to go the distance. 20 seconds left in the third round. What a debut! This is some great experience for both of these guys. Now they feel what it's like. They feel what it's like to be in there for 3 full rounds. Of course, you want to go in there and get a quick knockout or a quick submission, but long term, I think this is doing their career better by going the distance here.
Yeah, plus, even fighting this venue in your amateur debut, this is such a nice venue. And it doesn't get much better than this, especially on a local level.
Yeah, walking out for your first fight, you've got the beautiful bowling center. It feels like an arena.
Yeah.
You got 3 huge screens in the back. Come to the cage. You've got the best commentary team
Ever.
ever. Like, commenting on your fights or your highlights.
Yeah.
Look good, and you've got good sound on them. Can't beat that.
The earphones aren't peeling off on the head,
Hey.
so this is, man, we're batting 1,000 today.
How are we feeling? Who you got winning so far?
Yeah, I think this is Alex Aparicio's fight. I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I don't even think it's 29-28. I think he won all 3 rounds. Second one's close, but I do think that, I think it's going to be a pretty clear win for Alex Aparicio. And, man, 18 years old, still in high school, only training 8 months. Very impressive kid.
Richard Thomas, just excited to get this fight done with. Got the big screen there. Really feeling like he probably won this fight.
Yeah, both these guys are flyweights. They could probably fight again right now if they had to.
Yeah.
After this fight, got 6 more coming your way on the amateur side. Then we got 4 pros. Hopefully we get through all of these fights because we do go live at 8 p.m. on UFC Fight Pass for our main card for Fury FC 110. You guys believe it? 110. It's been a busy year.
Yeah, my first show was Fury 47. It just seems so, it seems like just yesterday, 2021.
All right, let's see how the judges scored this one. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by ways2well.com. Judge Perry Hillen scores the fight 30-27, Aparicio. Judge Prescott Spassky scores the fight 29-28, Thomas. And Judge Greg Alvarez scores the fight 29-28, declaring your winner by split decision, Alex Aparicio.
All right, congratulations to Alex Aparicio getting his first win as an amateur. Split decision. Win's a win. We got it. We all had Alex winning it. And shout out to Richard Thomas getting in there. Can't wait to see both of these fighters back inside the Fury Amateur Series stage. With that, let's keep things moving and meet our next fighter.
Please welcome Caleb Dennison to the blue corner.
Alex Aparicio just picked up his first win. Caleb Dennison trying to do the same. Has been inside the cage 3 times already. Not successful yet, but hey, you never know. This might be the one for Alex Aparicio, or excuse me, for Caleb Dennison. We've seen him fight a few times already. Last time out was against Jacob Martinez in September when he lost via triangle choke in round 3. He's a guy who's just constantly fighting, is getting better with every fight. Hoping tonight culminates in a win.
Yeah, that's all you could do is you've got to, keep getting in there, and especially if you want to, he's going to be a personal trainer soon. He's making this his lifestyle, and Caleb Dennison is just one of those guys that wants to get in here, he wants to do it, and he's making it happen. As many fights as he can get before it's time for him to retire, looks like he wants to do that.
Fight name Ninja Blanco. The White Ninja. I'd like to think of myself as a Ninja Blanco.
All right, let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome Noah Guerrero to the red corner.
Noah Guerrero making his debut. The 17-year-old has taken a lot of kickboxing matches, is constantly training. And of course, when you're 17, making your debut, your parents have to sign the waiver to let you in. And his dad was talking to President Aaron Garcia of Fury FC, of course. And he was just like, man, my son is so ready for this, ready to get this going. Cool. And here we are, the 17-year-old.
Walking at the Limp Bizkit. I like him already. Yeah. He looks all up 17 years old, for sure.
He literally looks 17.
And let me tell you something. I emceed the ceremonial weigh-ins last night. There was not a more confident fighter in the weigh-ins than Noah Guerrero.
This is a catch weight fight of 150 pounds. Both fighters did make weight. You see the height there, 5'8" versus 5'6", and that reach advantage is going to be huge for Noah Guerrero. So you've got a 17-year-old taking on a 31-year-old with 3 kids.
Yeah.
That's why I love MMA. That's why I love calling fights. It's one of my favorite things, to get the backstories of these fighters.
Caleb is old enough to be Noah's father's young friend.
Could be, definitely. All right, both fighters are inside. Let's get our introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by SheathUnderwear.com, is scheduled for 3 rounds at a Fury Amateur Series catch weight of 150 pounds. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 149.6 pounds. fighting out of Victoria, Texas. Today, he seeks his first amateur win. This is Caleb Dennison. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he weighed in at 150 pounds even. Fighting out of Pleasanton, Texas. Today, he makes his amateur debut. Here is Noah Guerrero. Song.
John Herzog inside, second fight of our prelims broadcast. Caleb Dennison, blue gloves. The debuter, Noah Guerrero, in the red gloves, black trunks.
the youngster's tricky. Watch his eyes. He was looking at Dennison's legs and then threw a high kick. He was trying to hit him with a little misdirect.
The oldest trick in the book. Pointing down here and punching up here.
Dude, that's a vet trick. That's a trick. If you look in their eyes when they respond with you, they'll make you like think they're trying to go low and they'll get you high. I do that all the time to the youngsters.
Yeah. Yeah, you stare at their like hip line or something and they think, what is he looking at?
You bomb it overhand right. He also may just be so young. He was looking where he was trying to kick. I'll tell you, the biggest difference here is going to be just the strength and physicality difference. Oh, that's a big shot.
That's big.
Dennison senses the finish is near. He needs to try to recover guard. Does the youngster Noah.
Noah Guerrero training at One Tribe Warriors MMA.
I'm curious how much jiu-jitsu they do because his coach is saying to roll out of there and then roll him over. I think he means a reversal. And that's just not how jiu-jitsu works. Rolling out of stuff.
It's an interesting defense here. Use your arms and your leg.
Nice little reversal.
Caleb Dennison not over pursuing, taking his time. This being his fourth fight as an amateur, taking on the debuter, has that advantage.
Long jab there from Noah. And Noah looking like he's going to grab that head. We saw he almost jump that guillotine and didn't really have the grip.
Yeah, that would have been a bad mistake.
Yeah, the last place it looks like he wants to be is underneath Caleb Dennison. Caleb showing some pretty good ground and pound here at the beginning of the first round.
Classic single leg.
30 seconds left in round one.
I'll tell you, there was a punch that Dennison had thrown early in round one when he was on the ground, and it hit Noah, and he went limp for a half a second. I don't know if you guys saw it specifically, but that was a good ground strike.
Yeah, and a lot of times, especially on debuts, you know, some amateurs will get in there and they almost fight like they're sparring. And so if their coaches aren't making it I'm not saying that Noah's coaches aren't, but if they're not making it extremely hard on them, you know, they'll get in there and spar, and the other guy's in there to fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I tell you guys wouldn't believe what I tell my guys to visualize and do when they're in the cage. I mean, it's a fight to the death. Thankfully, usually no one dies.
Yeah.
But, like, you better be trying to kill them or else you're going to be fighting at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's why the ref is there.
Yeah.
That's why rules are in place. But, yeah, no, this is not a joke or a game, man. If you go in there thinking it's a game.
Yeah, and if you think the other guy there's that punch,
that was
Alex.
a punch, man. That was a really big shot there from Dennison.
Yeah, I mean, that's the that young body of Noah Guerrero able to take that damage, you know, able to take that big shot, because that would have knocked a lot of people out.
It almost looked like he knocked him out, and then that follow-up punch woke him back up.
Yeah.
Like, wake up.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. You can see he's wearing that damage on that left eye. So we have 3 17-year-olds and an 18-year-old.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Amazing.
Yeah, our next fight is 17 versus 17.
It's literally a school fight.
But you could and will see in school.
Ooh, Good kick to open things up for Caleb Dennison.
I'm afraid the winner might get detention in the next fight.
They have to come sit with us for a round.
That's right.
Noah had that big reach advantage, 6 inches. Hasn't been able to use it too much. Caleb doing a good job of keeping things tight. Haven't seen much striking from Noah yet.
Yeah, when he was using the jab and throwing it out there, he has a really long jab. He landed it a couple of times. And I just think since then, Caleb has closed the distance and just not wanted to stay at the end of that jab. I mean, which is smart.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not too sure how much grappling he does because this coach told him to punch him from bottom position. That is not correct.
Oh, man, big punches. Really not anything there.
No, there's
Let that go.
Yeah, you're actually, when you got that arm occupied like that, holding the head from this position, you're just leaving your face open for punching. And Caleb didn't punch him there, but, I mean, he definitely could have.
He's going to get his back taken if he tries to pursue this headlock reversal attempt.
In mount again.
That's getting Americana.
Oh, grabbing it.
That's a good
hard.
attempt.
It's a good bite.
You should set up an armbar, perhaps. There, from close guard.
Oh, man. Oh, there it is. There's the tap. Good work by Caleb Dennison getting his first win as an amateur. The 31-year-old has committed to this lifestyle, has overcome so much, and finally getting the tap and getting that coveted first win. What a moment for Caleb.
Yeah, and a good lesson here for Noah Guerrero. This is his first amateur fight. He got in there and he did some good things. And I think with a little more experience and some more gym time, I mean, he's definitely going to get better. Yeah, here's that finish. It looks like he was kind of going for undecided on if he was going to triangle at first, if he was going to almost plot up and just use the sweep. Ended up getting that arm bar, and it was really nasty.
Yeah, deep arm bar. I'll tell you, since they were belly down and the leg was not over the body, he could have stepped both legs over and turned into almost like a sack and pass style finishing sequence. But I think he should really focus on his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
If he wants to step back in this Fury cage.
Love that moment between these warriors. Caleb Dennison and Noah Guerrero. Let's make this one official. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Herzog calls for a stop to the fight. 1 minute, 52 seconds into round number 2. Declare your winner by tap out due to an armbar, Caleb Dennison.
Congratulations to Caleb Dennison, and can't wait to see Noah Guerrero back inside the cage. Maybe next time he's in there, he doesn't have to get parental consent. He can just walk in on his own. Let's keep it moving and meet our next fighter.
Please welcome to the blue corner, Austin Hines.
The 17-year-old Austin Hines, training out of 10th Planet in Austin, the baby goat.
I'll never forget Austin Hines. I went to train at 10th Planet in Austin, which I will be there tomorrow on open mat from 12 to 2. But Austin Hines came up to me, and I think he was 14 or 15, and he was like, "Hey, Mr. Alexander," which, I almost punched him when he said that, but, "Hey, Mr. Alexander, I just want you to know I'm going to fight for Fury one day. I'm going to be y'all's champion, and I'm going to go to the UFC." And I was like, "Oh, I hope so, kid." Kind of patted him on the shoulder and was like, "Who is that?" Now coming in here, this kid is a prospect, Alex.
Yeah, undefeated 2-0 as an amateur. Third fight coming up. Only 17 years old. That is absolutely wild. Yeah, I like this young blood myself.
Yeah, in his last fight against Israel Ortega, it was a really big moment for him. Unanimous decision win. But to see him go the distance, to go and take on a guy who had a lot more size than him, to get that win, that was big in my eyes. Like, that's a moment you wanted to see. that first fight is always, you never know, right? Like you're taking on another debut guy or a guy with 1 or 2 fights. But taking on a guy with that much size, that was fun to see for me.
Yeah, what you want to see, in my opinion, Alex, is eventually during your amateur career, you want to see 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times, where you're having to dig really deep and dig yourself out of a hole and go through some adversity. I think that's where the learning really comes through. If you're going through everyone, when you get to the pros, you're going to get a huge awakening because they're so good.
You see that all the time.
Austin Hines is in. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome Edgar Vasquez to the red corner.
Congratulations, man. Love it. Caleb Dennison stopping by saying hi. Okay, as we mentioned, this is a legit school fight, okay? Because Edgar Vasquez is also 17 years old. And he wanted Austin Hines. He reached out to President Eric Garcia and said, I want Austin Hines. Give me this kid. I want to take on this kid. I know there's a lot of hype around him. I want this kid. So here we are. 2 17-year-olds are going to solve this on the schoolyard, a.k.a. inside the cage.
Yeah, it's bold. I mean, that's a super valuable win if you can pull it off. That's also a very challenging call out. And, you know, I've had a few fights where guys asked to fight, and I've happily accepted, and then come fight night, they were like, dang. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. We don't know much about Vasquez.
That's Alex Morono across
debut. Yeah.
Our Tell the Tape brought to you by Space City Collective. You see the height difference there and the reach for Edgar Vasquez, both 17 years old, as I mentioned. These guys were I heard even yesterday at the ceremonial weigh-ins, there's a little tension.
Yeah.
So let's figure out what's going to
Brought
happen.
to you by Space City Collective is scheduled for 3 rounds of the Fury Amateur Series Flyweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 124.6 pounds. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, he holds an undefeated amateur record of 2 wins, no losses. Here is Austin Hines. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and he weighed in at 124.4 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, today he makes his amateur debut. This is Edgar Vasquez. Your referee in charge of the action, Danielle Guevara.
Let's get this one going. Austin Hines, blue gloves. Edgar in the red. Look for that striking of Edgar Vasquez to really stand out. Austin has been working on his striking as well, he told us.
Yeah, Vasquez, 5'10" at flyweights, much taller than the average. Using the length well. Ooh, Hines stuns him. Hines got a tremendous room of guys he trains with. So he's not at a loss of super high-level training partners. And his striking is great, but he's primarily a grappler. Like, that's where his best skill set lies, truly, is in his ground skills.
Yeah, I would say he's exceptional on the ground, and, you know, his striking is continuing to improve. We've already seen him land a couple here, but yeah, this is where he highlights his skill set is on the ground. And, you know, Edgar is a little bit taller, so it's a little bit more difficult, you know, to get position on these guys. But if anybody can do it, I mean, Austin can do it. And, you know, so far so good for Edgar also. I mean, you know, he called out Austin Hines, and, you know, he's in there gaming with him right now.
Yeah. A little half back take, that power half grip.
Austin is so good, just keeping his body in control, not over committing, not going too high just yet. Looks like he is holding on tight here.
So this grip is the power half Nelson, and you can use it to shove their head down to their ground, and it makes them like concede the posts, and they'll often roll to their back. He's since abandoned it, his Hines, but it's because he got the second hook in and now has a full back take. And now he'll just make Vasquez carry his weight. He's really hunting that rear naked choke.
Austin got the rear naked choke in his debut win.
In the UFC, at least, on average, every year, the rear naked choke wins 12.5% of all fights.
Wow.
The single submission. In 100 fights, there's 25 submissions, and then half of those are rear naked choke.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I love every year, somebody on Reddit releases all the submissions that happen in the UFC, and I just love those stats. It's always number one's always rear naked choke. Number two's almost always guillotine, but one year it was number 3.
What was number 2 that year?
That triangle choke.
Triangle choke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe
Throwing up all those triangle chokes that year.
Or maybe it was like head and arm choke variations, like Darce Anaconda. I forget specifically. I just remember because guillotine's like my best sub, and it wasn't number 2, and I was a little salty about that. I took pride in
10 seconds left here, round 1.
He tried to
tried to slam it.
throw him up, but Austin Hines was hit to it. And he said, "Nope, I'm letting my hooks go."
I don't know if you guys could hear it on the broadcast, but in the corner, Edgar's corner, his coach is saying, "Slam him, slam him, slam him." And as he went for the slam, Austin obviously heard it. We're still in our prelims, just a little bit quieter right now.
Yeah.
And he timed the escape perfect. He's like, "Nope, I'm good. Let me get out of here with 2 seconds left. Take the round back to my corner."
Yeah, I mean, Austin Hines round, he landed the bigger punches, I think, and then also, got the back and chasing that submission for most of the second round, maybe, almost 2 minutes of the first round. So, yeah, but, I mean, Edgar Vasquez in there, like I said, he's a gamer, and he's the one who called for this fight. He's the longer fighter. Austin Hines just doing a good job of making sure that's not a factor here.
All right, round 2.
Vasquez does a good job pressing forward pretty much any chance he gets.
Couple of good kicks there from Austin. Oh, man, good strikes.
I don't know if Austin was throwing a calf kick or if Vasquez just checked a kick, but shin to shin pretty hard. Just runs his feet on a nice double leg behind.
Yeah, Austin said enough of this.
So there's a potential knee bar from here. I think Austin was trying. It's called the dog bar. At least some teams call it. Like my team calls it that. And it's a tricky one. We actually saw it was pulled off in an early Fury fight by, I think, Felipe Rocha, if I'm not mistaken, over at the Arena Theater.
Sounds right, but I mean, if somebody was going to do it, it would be him. Very strong, shorter legs. I love that submission. I love it, and it's very tricky.
Yeah, it makes me play like an open half guard almost never. My feet are either always in like the Z guard formation or like a figure 4 because that leg has to be isolated for it to get knee barred.
Austin once again taking the back, similar to what we saw in round 1.
Oh, he's got a body triangle now.
Now that squeeze is on the body.
One time one of my amateurs had a fight, and the only damage he took is he was on his opponent's back and the guy like front flip slammed him. And my guy landed on his head, and they bent weird, and like he popped up and we saw he was okay, but we didn't know if it, did real damage or not. And this was the only thing.
See, this is what I was talking about with Edgar being a little taller, trying to use that choke arm. If that elbow goes above the level of your shoulder, that arm becomes really, really weak. It's really difficult to get it around there. And so being taller in this situation, move that body lock down towards your hips as far as you can, then you're basically unchokeable. Then you can start working on, using your hands to remove the legs and improve your position.
Yeah, a little crank there from Austin, just trying to see if he can get under.
Yeah, notice Vasquez is like really going 2-on-1 on Hines' left hand. If Hines can pull that left hand out, he would lock a figure 4 if he could, despite the chin being tough.
10 seconds
Not
left.
enough time now.
Yeah, Hines just being mean now.
Nice little uppercuts.
Almost like a little Bronco busting there.
Yeah.
Like leaned all the way back.
Yeah, Hines is up 2 rounds pretty clearly. Position control, back takes, the best of the best position to have.
Edgar striking on display to start the round. Looked good. Caught Austin Hines with a few punches. But it's definitely been Austin Hines, both rounds, taking the back, riding Edgar, trying to sink that choke in. And shout out to San Antonio. Crowd is starting to pack to the Boeing Center at Techport. Got some big guests slated to be here later tonight. Probably the biggest name in sports. One of the most recognizable names in sports.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, probably top 5. I mean, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Floyd Mayweather. I mean,
Oh, he gave it away.
big argument for that.
Try to hide it for a bit.
And also,
Ooh, man, good exchange.
yeah, Edgar Vasquez coming out. I think he's realizing that he needs a finish here to win this fight, and that's the last thing he wanted.
Yeah, it was Hines who kind of opened up the exchange, and Vasquez was happy to throw back. Hines did a really good job. He's just set up all of his takedowns with not only punches but great forward momentum. He's found the back in every round. Big ground shots. Those are big shots here from Hines. Back to that power half. Oh, now just trying to shoulder lock him, but chooses not to concede the back take for the shoulder lock. And I think that was a great choice.
What an aggressive round here.
He is just all over him.
Dawson just looked over at me and gave me a nod like, oh, see this? Yeah, there's that shoulder crank.
This
I absolutely love that.
Man. Oh.
I love this shoulder crank.
He's going to tap. He can't turn.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Here's that.
It's way over the chin, but if he can lock a figure 4 and get that right hand behind and under his own neck, I should say behind the head of Vasquez and under his own neck, he could certainly crank it.
Try to get you back to the floor. Not that way. Try to turn the other way. Turn into him. Turn towards him. Excuse me. Turn towards him.
He's trying it again.
Yeah, and you can tell his coaches told Austin between rounds, hey, if you take his back again, do some damage.
Yeah.
Forget about that choke for a little while. Loosen him up. Do some damage. Let's soften him up. Oh, you see Austin, he's got it around his neck. He's reaching down, grabs the elbow, and pulls it up. What a beautiful way to finish a rear naked choke.
Yeah, once it got in there in the crease, that was it. Didn't matter if arms weren't connected. It wasn't perfect.
The youngster now with some experience to his name. Austin Hines goes 3-0 with 2 submission finishes. The future is bright for this youngster.
He had a very unconventional finish of a rear naked choke. Very conventional choke, but very unconventional way to finish it. And, adapting to the defense that Vasquez was putting up. And, what a beautiful finish. I love seeing that.
For Austin Hines, as y'all mentioned, 3-0 now. You see the choke in, getting the tap. And for Edgar Vasquez, man, what a way to get some experience in your debut. Tough fight, had some good moments. Man, the striking looked really crisp for the 17-year-old Edgar Vasquez. No need to hang your head, young man. You'll be back inside the cage. Better for it. As y'all mentioned, 5'10" for a flyweight. This young man could be a problem, Edgar Vasquez. Let's make it official. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Daniel Guerrero calls for a stop to the action. 2 minutes into the third and final round, declaring your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Austin Hines.
Austin Hines, 3-0, saying, come on, give me a title shot. Get to like 4, maybe 5.
He'd be fighting my boy Alan Gonzalez.
Yeah.
That's a good scrap. That's a tough one for him.
Let's meet our next fighter.
Please welcome Drew Lopez to the blue corner.
Drew Lopez coming back inside the cage for Fury, 6th time as an amateur. Went and fought in a different promotion for a bit, now coming back. Good to see Drew Lopez. Now, every time we're in San Antonio, we love seeing the Lopez brothers because they will put on and they will scrap. They will go down fighting, whether it be they win or they lose. They are going down with a fight. That's why I love watching Drew Lopez.
Played a role in perhaps the most infamous out-of-cage story here in Fury. It was like a in-arena pre-fight
Yeah.
causing his brother to jump out of the cage, get DQ'd. I mean, it was wild.
It was a wild night. It was the night after Royal Rumble was here. 'Cause I remember my daughter was with me. Y'all
Yeah,
remember?
I do remember that.
My oldest daughter was with us, and I took her to Royal Rumble the night before. It was here. WWE was in San Antonio. Then I brought her to the fights, and Drew Lopez that night got head kicked, KO'd. His dad, I think, was just little worked up from that, and then all of a sudden there was a fight in the crowd.
Somebody in the crowd was antagonising him, and his brother Drake went to
Drake
go.
was getting ready to fight Patty Ferguson.
Yeah.
That was also fighting tonight.
He heard the family's call and
He jumped out the cage.
had his brother and dad's back.
Fight broke out. Alex is like, "Don't worry, I got you. I got your daughter. Don't worry."
Yeah.
My daughter was on her iPad, didn't even flinch. She's like, "Whatever, it's just work. No big deal." Drew's inside. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Jesus Alfaro.
And then the best thing from that fight, Alex, was that when I told my wife, she's like, "You're never taking her again." And I'm like, "Come on!" And my daughter was like, "I want to go back so bad." She
That's
loved
awesome,
it.
man. Good
She
for her.
loved it. Jesus Alfaro, 1-0 as an amateur, looking for that second win. First time here at Fury Amateur Series for Jesus. Got his debut win back in 2013, gentlemen. It's been that long. 2013. Now, he was going to go pro. He wanted to make that pro debut, just couldn't find the right fight for him. Got convinced, like, hey, let's just do one more amateur fight. He's actually here with Herman or Pineda, who we're going to see open up our main event.
Yeah, fighting Eddie Freiberger. That's a scrap,
That's
boys.
a
They're both
banger.
dynamite strikers. I cannot wait for that one.
So, taking one more amateur fight is Jesus Alfaro. And here we are. Look at our tail of the tape, brought to you by Warbringer Whiskey, the cock of the walk. Even on the height, 1-inch reach advantage for Drew Lopez. See both fighters getting ready. They are inside. Let's get our introductions.
The following contest, brought to you by the Cock of the Walk, Warbringer Whiskey, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Flyweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 125.8 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, his amateur record stands at 3 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. Here is Drew Lopez. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 124.6 pounds. Fighting out of Chihuahua, Mexico, his amateur record stands at 9 wins, only 1 defeat. Here is Jesus Colocho Alfaro. Your referee in charge, John Herzog.
All right, here we go. Drew Lopez with the blue gloves, Jesus Alfaro red gloves.
Ooh, nice right hand there from Lopez.
Okay, Drew and Drake. Drake, the younger of the Lopez brothers, they come out the first 3 minutes.
Just bang.
Everything they've got, they just leave it in the cage.
Yeah, imagine tying up with those guys at a bar, not in a fight setting. You have to fight both of them at the same time. That's a nightmare for anybody.
In a Fury crowd.
Yeah. Good takedown there from the very experienced Jesus Alfaro. Scores a nice little takedown after Lopez actually the one to close the distance.
Drake also on this prelims broadcast. He's going to be coming up here shortly. We'll talk about what's changed in his game. Both of these brothers, man, they go out looking for finishes.
Yeah, I think Drake Lopez actually the favorite to win his fight.
Yeah.
Usually he's the dog. He's made it happen 4 times in the past. Almost all with submissions and KOs, but I mean, sometimes he'll crack guys and then sub them.
Yeah, and the transition to submission is as fast as you'll see.
Oh, big shots here for Jesus. Good get up though from Drew Lopez. He hustled and scrambled his butt off, and it super paid off.
Taking it to the corner with nice gum.
Right into his own corner. That's awesome. He's still got his hands connected. He'll take him for another ride, will Drew Lopez. There it is. Some great wrestling here in this fight.
Drew actually fought for the amateur featherweight title in a different promotion, lost in round 2 back in November of last year, and then coming back here to Fury. So has been working his way up, has been steadily getting better. Jesus Alfaro, first time inside the cage since 2013. Has been training. It's not like he's been away from the sport. Oh man, good knees there.
He's getting armbarred, but he's doing more damage. I mean, he's got a good figure 4. He seems content with the defensive structure.
Yeah, he's out of the armbar now. The elbow has cleared the fulcrum. He may still be in there a little bit deep.
I guarantee you Drew has been armbarred by his brother Jake a million times in the training room. He seems like he's extraordinarily comfortable here in this setting.
Yeah.
Plus, that didn't happen near as fast as Drake does it.
Big shots. Man, Drew's taking this round over. Yeah, ground and pound. And on a straight block. Oh, he misses it, though.
Oh, man. A crazy way to end this round.
Hey.
Oh, wait. Couple punches after the bell, but I don't think Drew Lopez cares.
No, they're cool,
He's
man.
ready to get that.
So, fun fact about Jesus Alfaro, his fight name is Cholocho. Cholocho. I'm not too sure to say it, Cholocho.
Yeah.
But it means a person with curly hair. It's not what I would have guessed. And if you guys saw his walkout photo, he had a mane on it.
If we can we see that tail the tape one more time? That was amazing. Good catch. I forgot to mention, the hair, Colocho.
Anytime I see a nickname not in English, I love looking it up and learning something new.
It's actually, I don't know if you guys have ever played Mexican Loteria, which is like Mexican bingo, but instead of numbers, they just have pictures. Like it'll say, El Borracho. It's just a drunk guy. So it would be kind of cool to see Colocho and a picture of Jesus Alfaro on the Mexican Loteria.
I know a couple of people whose nickname is Borracho also.
Yeah, we know El Gato Borracho. Hector Signs. The champ. Ooh.
Pick up with that.
Here we go, another ride.
That's such a great venue here in San Antonio. Fury Fighting Championships is giving a platform that, very few promotions can give. We see what's going on in the UFC with Josh Van. All his fights were at Fury, fighting for the belt next.
Yeah.
Dick Lopez just fought for the belt.
And standing on trying.
One of the
Interesting.
most popular fighters in the UFC. And then Jacoby Smith on the top prospect list at 170 the other day I saw. And just a great opportunity for all these guys.
Switch attempt there from Drew Lopez. Yeah, and talking, going back to what you were just talking about, Mike, Isaac Moreno, he's got a tough opponent in Darian Weeks, a UFC vet, but this is one of those things. You get past somebody who was in the UFC That's usually your time to go. Drew, in on a ghillie.
It's going to be enough. Looks pretty tight. We just can't tell from this angle that's on your screen, and now we get a better look at this.
Yeah, the only thing that's hurting this tight ghillie is he's in half guard, is Drew Lopez. And yeah, the arm and guillotines are like, they're not super powerful because the arm is in, so you got to have them in close guard. Huge shots here from Jesus Alfaro. I mean, huge shots.
When Jesus gets a chance to unload, he's connecting with some big punches.
Nice Uchimata there from Drew Lopez.
Wow, interesting defense there also.
And on an armbar. Oh, he loses it though. Man, in MMA fight, you're sweaty, you're inverted. Those are super slip-off friendly. It's a cool attempt, shows creativity. He's willing to take risks to find these rewards, these wins.
Big punches.
Yeah, Alfaro's got to be careful. He's walking that line on the back of the head there.
These are big shots, though. They say in the rules meeting, just aim for the ear. They say if you make contact with the ear, you're cool. Man, what a fight.
Warnings given or anything like that, so all good right now.
See if Jesus maybe uses this opportunity to take the back. Nope, more ground and pound. Nice. I like the little arm pull into an uppercut there from Drew. Oof. Dodging a bullet there.
Man,
what a chaotic fight.
Alfaro's going for it with every punch. 10 seconds left.
A spinning hook kick there. It was successful double leg. What
Right.
round, man.
Yeah. A wild back and forth.
First round going to Drew, unofficially, I would say. Alfaro taking round 2.
Yeah, man, honestly, both rounds, both guys had big moments. I mean, like near submissions, a lot of ground and pound damage. It's been a fun fight. So far, in my opinion, fight of the night. We got 3 more amateur fights after this one. 4 pro fights. One of them guaranteed to not see the judges' scorecards. That's the Drake Lopez Ruben Martinez card.
Oh, yeah.
In their combined 20 fights, I think there have been 20 finishes.
Yeah.
Wins and losses alike.
Gage Harper taking on Patrick Ferguson. That's going to open up the pro side of the prelims. Let's see if we get to all of the fights. We do go live on UFC Fight Pass at 8 p.m. 7 fights on that broadcast in the main one.
For the first time in Fury history, more female fights than male fights for a main card.
I was going to say, including 4 female fights back to back to back to back.
Becca Irwin, Muay Thai prodigy. 2-0, fighting a girl who's 1-0. It's an excellent fight.
Liv Beerley, Val Soto, who's right there, 7-4. If she has a marquee moment, could she get the call? And Jasmine Montoya. A lot of excitement for this fighter.
You know, she got a huge boxing pedigree, does Montoya, but her opponent's a grappler. And that's if you fight a great boxer, you got to try to grapple with her. Even on her predictions, she says submission by how she will win. So there's no hidden game plan there.
Inside the cage, round 3, 1 minute already gone. Tied up.
These guys jockeying for position here on the cage, slowing it down a bit. I don't blame them. Those first 2 rounds were chaos incarnate.
Yeah, a little bit tougher to call here in the 3rd round. Not a ton of activity, but man, both guys still look fresh. They don't look like they're breathing too hard. I just think this is setting up to be one of those fights that maybe the last 10 or 20 seconds they may be in the middle, pointing to the ground and just throwing down on each other. Drew Lopez in a good ground and pound position from the guard. The head propped up against the cage of Jesus Alfaro. It's a good position. It's a really difficult position to defend yourself in from these shots. You're not going to take any huge shots, but You're going to take the bigger shots when your head's closer to the ground, but whenever your head's elevated like that, you just can't move it much. Especially when the posture's down of Drew Lopez. If he postures up and keeps that head there, that's the chance to do some damage. But, the risk in that is giving them the space, and, they transition to something really, really quick.
I think in this scenario, this deep in the fight, only 30 seconds left, I think Jesus maybe hopes and thought he did enough to take 1 and 2. We'll see. But round 3, a bit slower, but is all Drew Lopez. He's got the takedown. He's got the ground and pound.
Has been active with it as we near the 10-second clapper. One fight, round 3, Drew Lopez dominates it. Rounds 1 and 2, up in the air.
Up in the air.
Although for me, I think round 1 was Drew Lopez. Round 2, Jesus Alfaro. Drew taking this one.
We did see that split decision in our opening bout, and I thought that was a pretty clear-cut win for one of the guys, so there's no telling exactly where the judges are at tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not going to try to predict anything
Nope.
yet. I can't really find a pattern yet. I'm glad Austin finished his fight with a rear naked choke in the 3rd round because, who knows?
Yep.
Yeah, entertaining fight nonetheless. I mean, especially the first 2 rounds. I mean, the first 2 rounds, I would have bet either one of y'all money that this was not going to finish this was not going to go to the end of the 3rd round. But, they slowed the pace a little bit, maybe out of necessity. I mean, whenever you fight that hard for 2 rounds and, both guys taking a little bit of damage, both guys going up and down, I mean, it takes a toll on you.
Love seeing these House of Jiu-Jitsu fighters from San Antonio. Seeing their name pop up more and more on our Fury FC cards.
Yeah, House of Jiu-Jitsu, they put out a ton of fighters. I think Dorian Bryant, probably their most notable. Drake Lopez. I actually have a match against their head coach, Jacob, here for Sub 100 Pro 100. That'll be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Nothing but love to that team, and I'm just happy to be on that card. Sub 100 100 is a big deal.
When is that one coming up?
November 16th.
November 16th.
Pretty soon.
It's going to be on the UFC's pages and on...
Well, once it's more official, we'll announce. I'm not too sure where to.
Oh,
screen
okay.
it.
Never mind. Ignore that comment.
Yeah.
Let's see how the judges score this.
Just know it'll stream.
It'll be somewhere.
We'll screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by the Big Beast of Bourbon, Warbringer Whiskey. All 3 judges scored the fight 29-28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Drew Lopez.
Yeah, congratulations to Drew Lopez. You called it. He definitely took round 3, and then you had said you were pretty sure he won round 1. I think all 3 judges saw it the same way. It's a great fight for these guys.
Yeah, that was a blast. Congratulations to Drew Lopez, picking up his 4th win as an amateur for Jesus Alfaro, coming back in after all those years off. Let's meet our next fighter.
Please welcome Carlos Martinez to the blue corner.
All right, Carlos Martinez coming in 2nd time for Fury Amateur Series, riding a 2-fight win streak. And this is a fascinating tale of the records.
Yes.
Started his career 0-4.
Yep.
Get Carlos Martinez, and now riding that 2-fight win streak. His opponent, Michael, a little different.
Started 2-0 and is on a 4-fight losing streak.
Hey, what are the odds?
And
Like
so
evil
it's
twins.
it was a weird dynamic yesterday as I was looking through the research, and this fight was supposed to happen back in April, but here they are, ready to go.
And to add another layer to all of this, a few years ago, about 2 years ago actually, Eric Garcia wanted to book Carlos Martinez at 145. Carlos misses weight And then he's like, you know what? I'm just going to fight at 170.
He forgot the weight class. There's a weight class in between featherweight and welterweight.
He's just like, forget this. I'm going welterweight from here.
No, yeah, he looks big and strong. I'll
Yeah.
tell you, I see Dorian Bryant in his corner. And to have that man as a fellow amateur in the training room with you regularly, man, that's going to do nothing but help both fighters.
Martinez is inside. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Jacob Sanchez.
Jacob Sanchez, 2-4 record as well. We explained the records. Got finished back in April. And the other thing with Jacob Sanchez, all of his losses, the 4 fights, have been finishes.
Yep.
So trying to figure things out, trying to get more experience, but definitely something that he has to clean up here.
Yeah, and both of his wins are finishes also. So, I mean, he's a guy that goes in there and just kind of throws it to the wind and just, let's see what happens. I'm going to throw some hands, and if it connects and it doesn't knock you out, I'm going to jump down on the ground, and whoever's jiu-jitsu's better, that's who's going to win the fight. And, you know, it's a very entertaining style of fight to watch. And we'll see how it works out for Jacob this time. But both guys, same record. Both guys on a very different trajectory right now.
When he's not training and fighting, he's a union pipe fitter. Shout out to him. This is our Tail of the Tape brought to you by the Dennison Law Firm, DWI, in criminal defense. Height advantage, reach advantage going to the 27-year-old Jacob Sanchez, who, if you need pipe fitting done, we now have a contact. I know a guy. That's awesome. All right, both fighters are inside. Let's get our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next fight, brought to you by DenunalawFirm.com, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series welterweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he weighed in at a perfect 170 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, tonight he seeks his 3rd amateur win. Here is Carlos Martinez. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, and he too weighed in at a perfect 170 pounds. Fighting out of Bandera, Texas, tonight he too chases his 3rd amateur victory. This is Jacob Sanchez. Your referee in charge, Danielle Guevara.
Blue gloves for Martinez, red for Jacob Sanchez. Both fighters looking for that 3rd win as an amateur.
Man, oddly enough, we don't get a ton of welterweights. It's cool if they found 2 welterweights, both with 6 fights. A really good matchup.
Love the size on Sanchez.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Martinez kind of finding his range, throwing those open stance kicks.
Yeah, look for this next one to go to the head.
Oh, man. Yeah, like just a little left hand.
I think he got caught with just a stiff jab, and I just think like kind of a surprise impact kind of sent him to his back, maybe to help mitigate. I don't know if that was a knockdown opposed to him just kind of choosing to go bottom position. As he's in a pretty strong half guard here. It's a nice half guard sweep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, beautiful job. Whenever you're that tight on an overhook, you take away your post. Whenever somebody squeezes down on that overhook, and they can pull you over that way if they're strong enough.
On the back, here's Carlos Martinez. He's got both hooks in. He's looking for the solo top stretch. Yeah, it was smart for Sanchez to drop back down. He clears the hook to Sanchez on that right side. And he needs to cut a hard angle. Really, any angle is better than the person being right behind you.
Got some coaching from behind us. Must be Sanchez's friends and family.
He did a good job stripping that hook out on the right side. Armbar attempt. Elbow line is almost clear. Elbow line is clear. He's in on a nice little bear trap. There's a calf crush from there. Sanchez needs.
Tap.
His leg, he hurt his knee on that bear trap.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, that was fast. You called it.
Yeah, so there's a relatively new guard that's, maybe 3 or 4 years in comp called K-guard.
Yeah.
And from that K-guard, you can lock up that calf crush, and they call it the bear trap. Jack Hermanson actually got TKO'd by Roman Dolidze with a very similar position. He hit the bear trap and flattened him out belly down. Charles Oliveira pulled it off in the UFC like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
A different setup, but still very cool. And it was his transition from that armbar to that bear trap that got that knee injury, and that was really cool. If I'm Carlos Martinez and his jiu-jitsu coach, I'm super proud of that.
Oh, yeah, that's dislocated.
Oh, man.
And the bad part is he kind of put himself into that position. He just wasn't exactly sure of the escape. He was chasing the top side, and man, you got to clear that foot before you do that, or it can be devastating like that. And and it's not the calf crusher, the bicep slicer, all those. It's not. It hurts, but those joints will separate, and that's where the danger is. It's it's going to hurt, but most guys won't tap to it. It's when that joint separates. That's whenever it's. And especially the calf crusher, that kneecap will explode.
Man.
Oh, that was brutal.
From a technical jiu-jitsu standpoint, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was as cool as it gets.
For Martinez, that was nice, man. For Sanchez, hopefully there's no surgery required, but that didn't look good.
Yeah, it looks like a torn meniscus at the least.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Notice the underhook on the leg, that outside hook, that not even quite K-guard. He just kind of went right into the calf crush. That was cool.
Yeah, and then he pushes down on the knee. Pulls on the, you can see the knee just separates, and it's there's a lot of pressure there, and any pressure, your knee is designed to go straight on with each other, and deviate from that, it's devastating.
All right, let's make this one official. Here's Wayne.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Danielle Guevara calls for a stop to the fight. 2 minutes, 9 seconds into the very first round. Declaring your winner by verbal submission due to a calf slicer, Carlos Martinez.
Congratulations to Carlos Martinez. He made me stand up. My knees were good.
I attacked one of those this morning.
Yeah, some style points there for Carlos Martinez. That was awesome. I love it. Sorry for Jacob, but man, what a submission.
Yeah.
Let's meet our next fighter.
Please welcome Colin Rogers to the blue corner.
Boys, I need to check the history books, but I think the last calf crush we saw in Fury was Josh Vann as a pro in Colorado.
Yeah.
And that was maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe less. We don't see those very often. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Colin Rogers, this is his 155-pound debut. He was a big welterweight. I think he fought at a catchweight at 180 for his Fury debut. Goes down to welterweight, has some success. I think he had a knee bar, if I'm not mistaken, at his last.
Jacob Sanchez.
At his last. Oh,
yeah.
Poor Jacob Sanchez.
His knee.
Okay. And then he drops down to 55. I remember seeing that. I was like, no way he makes 55. And the irony is Colin Rogers, his opponent, busted weight. Rogers coming in 0.2 over, but it didn't matter because his opponent was 3 pounds over. But man, props to Colin Rogers. You guys will see, he's a big dude, 6'1", full of muscle, and dropped down to 155. Never thought I'd see it.
Colin Rogers is definitely a specimen. Training at Ohana. Loves to get submissions. And you can tell, he looks like a fighter. This guy has steadily gotten better.
Again, if I'm not mistaken, I think his debut was against Andrew Villarreal, who was like 155-pound championship material. They fought at a catchweight. I think he lost a decision in a really competitive fight.
Majority decision.
Then goes to his natural weight class, 170, finds victory, finds wins, and then drops down again. Crazy.
Colin Rogers is inside. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Vincent Dawson.
Vincent Dawson, coming off his debut win back in March. First time inside the Fury Amateur Series cage. And when I went back and watched that fight, the first thing that stood out to me was like, man, Vincent is huge. And he's super huge. He missed weight, as Alex already mentioned.
Yeah, and yesterday as I was watching these guys square off, and I had to look again to see that this is a 155 fight because both these guys stacked with muscle, both these guys very big, both guys very powerful, and I'm amazed every time we're in here because I don't usually go to the weigh-ins, so we see them the next night after they're rehydrated, after they've gained a lot of their weight back. So of course they always look huge to us because they're still lean, they're still ripped, and they still look big. But man, at weigh-ins, when you look big at weigh-ins, that's the people look usually pretty emaciated at weigh-ins, and to look big at weigh-ins, and that was both these guys.
See our tail of the tape brought to you by OnlyFans. Be sure to subscribe to the Fury FC OnlyFans page for everything behind the scenes at Fury FC. Yes, including the ring card girls. We saw that tail of the tape, that weight, 159.4. Height advantage going to Colin Rogers' reach advantage as well. Both fighters are inside. Let's get our introductions.
The following contest, brought to you by OnlyFans, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Lightweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, and he weighed in officially at 156.2 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, his amateur record stands at 2 wins, only 1 defeat. Here is Colin Rogers. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he weighed in at 159.4 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, his amateur record stands at 1 win, no losses. This is Vincent Dawson. Your referee in charge, John Herzog.
For Vincent Dawson, 50 amateur bouts in the boxing side, a lot of experience.
Oh, wow.
Wrestled in high school as well. Definitely prefers to strike, but very capable on the ground. Really good test here for both fighters.
Nice overhand there by Colin Rogers.
These guys are fighting at like a pro level.
Yeah, the way they move, the way they're attacking.
Their athleticism.
Oh, big right hand there from Vincent Dawson. Thought he took a cup shot too while that was happening, but
Good right hand there, Dawson.
Cup shot if it hurts.
yeah. Yeah.
Colin Rogers, by the way, blue gloves. Dawson in the red. Oh, yellow trunks. Oh, man, these guys are unloading. This is awesome.
And Vincent Dawson finding a home for that overhand on both hands.
Delayed reaction there.
A little low kick exchange, gentlemen.
Man, that kicking arsenal of Colin Rogers on full display right now.
He's got some good high kicks, this Rogers. Nice low kick. I mean, Rogers really is a big lightweight. That's wild. He was able to make the weight. Well, almost.
Yeah.
Pretty much. 0.2. And he's, coming down from welterweight.
Yeah, 3 fights into your amateur career, that's part of it. You're getting that right, and so I think he will get it right. I think he's going to find a home here.
Nice front kick right in the face. Big exchange from these guys. They finally tie up.
know both these guys are trying to put the lights out.
Man, Rogers landed another big low kick. You can tell the way his
Ooh,
opponent.
look at that left leg.
Yeah, look at the calf.
Yeah,
look at his left calf.
That's,
That calf is bubbled up. That's an indication of that thin muscle being torn on those calf kicks. And the muscle just instantly starts to bleed, and that's why it swells like it does. Nice right hand from Rogers.
Don't vomit, Raheel.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
He's still moving
big
forward
right
as
hand,
Dawson. He's putting a lot of pressure on that front leg still.
Oh, that was another one. That was a deliberate calf kick there.
That's got to be at least 18 or 19 kicks connected in this round.
Yeah, he made him switch his stance. Man, oof. I mean, that's swelling as we're talking. Wild.
15 seconds left. Here comes the clapper.
Oof, man. Yeah, that leg's torn up. The quad's a little chewed up as well.
Now, is that enough for a doctor stoppage?
No, unless the fighter can't walk or they get like drop foot and they can't kind of like control the tilt of their ankle. But usually not. Unless there's like real mobility damage, the doctors wouldn't stop that. Usually refs end up stopping it from a person like stepping and falling enough.
Man, what a round there for Colin Rogers. Absolute machine.
Yeah, Colin Rogers doing the damage, but man, Dawson found a home for that overhand right and left a few times in that round, and you know it landed. It didn't quite hit the spot, but man, you can tell if those hit the spot, that's going to be a problem. And you know, one thing I'm noticing about both of these guys, Colin Rogers, this is his 4th amateur fight. Vincent Dawson, his 2nd amateur fight. These guys are not going to be amateurs for long.
No.
These guys are very, very good.
Colin Rogers, 26 years old. Vincent Dawson, 27. Fighting doesn't work out for Colin Rogers. He looks like every Chechnyan gangster from the movies.
Yeah, Guy Ritchie may want to give him a call.
By the way, watching Guy Ritchie's new show, Mobland. Oh my God, that is good.